Hey guys, it is Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Got a great one here. We're going to finish our look at I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness by checking out all the guitar solos. So the one I just played right there is the first one that you're going to hear in the song. It's played by Justin Hawkins at the 1 minute and 1 second mark. Now there's some harmony guitar work going on there. I'm just playing the actual main part, not the little harmonized notes. I'm playing it basically like he does live. All right, so we're going to start here with these. So that is an oblique bend. So what we have is the 17th fret being held on the B string, and then the 16th fret on the G. And you're going to pick them both and bend up the note on the G string. All right. So after you do those, you pick them together. You pick across the two a couple times, and then pick that G string a couple of times and bring that bend down. So like this. Next phrase. All right, so that's a half step bend and release at the 16th fret on the high E string. It kind of descends through an E major arpeggio. So bend and release, then 12 on the high E, roll over to 12 on the B string, and then you're at the 13th fret on the G string, which you do another half step bend and release. Resolve it down to the 14th fret there on the D. And then end it with a bend at the 15th fret on the B string. So it's a short but sweet little solo there. But the main solo is, well, there's two really main solos. The next one here is played by Dan Hawkins at the 1 minute and 53 second mark. So let me play through it for you real quick. This one's quite a bit longer, and then we'll check it out phrase by phrase. So here we go. All right, so let's start here with this opening riff. So that starts with the double stop of playing the fifth. Double stop is basically just two notes. So we're going to be playing the, it's actually not a double stop if you're not stopping the top note, it's open. But we have a 5th fret on the B, and then the high E string just ringing together. Strum across those two strings a couple times, and then we have some more oblique bends where you're going to be holding the 7th fret on the high E string and then bending the 7th fret with it on the B string. Just bend up on that B string and grab the 7th fret on the high E. Oblique basically means one of the notes is moving and the other one's staying still. So it does a couple of bend and releases there. Then back down to the 5th fret on the B with the high E string. Then the 4th fret on the B, the high E string open. 2nd fret on the B with a high E. And then those two strings, top strings open. Then 1, 2, 4 on the G string. Hit that 4 a couple times. And then we have this. So it kind of has the same ending there. So we're going to start with a quick hammer on from 4 to 6 on the D string. And then you're going to pick 6 a couple more times. Then move down to 4, 2, and over to 4 on the A string. Then you can do a quick hammer between 2 to 4 on the D. And once again, hit 4 a couple times. Shift up to the 6th fret. Back down to 4 and 2 for this. And then when you play that, get down to the 2nd fret there on the D, hit the low E open string with it. And then we're going to have this. So that's just the open high E string. Let it ring then with that B. And then the 1st fret on the G string. And then, just like we ended the last phrase, that 1, 2, 4, 4. All right, next lick is section is a little bit trickier. Sounds like this. All right, so we're going to start, this time it's going to be, even though on the guitar it's really, it's still an oblique bend because one note is moving and one isn't, but they become unison notes. So these are really unison bends here. We're going to start with the 10th fret there on the B string and then the 13th fret there on the G. Now on a guitar like this, it's where it's a floating trim system, so it's kind of hard to keep both of those notes in tune. But his is a fixed bridge, so it's a little bit easier for him. So we're going to have 10th fret there on the B, and then 12th fret on the G. And as you pick those two notes, you're going to be bending up the 12th fret there on the G string to match the pitch of the B string. So do that a few times. Hopefully you don't have a floating trim system that goes crazy every time you try to do something like this. And then we do the same thing at the 9th fret, but you're going to be barring the first finger across the B and the high E. So when you do the unison bend, then you can pick across the high E string and the B, just the 9th fret bar, and then do that unison bend. All right, so we have this. All right, then we have kind of a fast lick, looks like this. So that lick right here is just. So we're going to start here at the 9th fret on the high E string, pull off 12 to 9 on the B, roll back to the 9 on the high E. So then you're going to pull off once again 12 to 9 on the B string, over to 11 on the G, back to 9 on the B. So this. And then you can end it with this, pulling off 11 to 9 on the G, over to 11 on the D, back to 9 on the G. So all together. Slower. From there, you're going to go 11, 9, to 11 on the D string, back to 9 on the G, back to 11. All right, next phrase. So that's a quick hammer from 9 to 11 on the A string. Then you're going to play the 9th fret there on the D and the G together, so that's a double stop. So you're just going to rotate back and forth between these two double stops, back down to the 11th fret there on the A. So you do that a couple of times, and then you rotate back to the 11th fret there. You still do the double stop. but you hit them and then you go to the 11th fret on the D. So all together we have this. And then you're gonna end it like this. So that's a full E major chord he's playing here, the 9th fret on the D, G, and the B together. And then he does this kind of double stop lick that goes from the 9th fret on the G and the B, 10 on the B, 11 on the G, and then move that up 2 frets. Do that a couple times. And then back to the pre-chorus, and we get to the kind of breakdown section. And then coming out of that breakdown section, we have Justin Hawkins' main solo. This one's a lot of fun, got some really cool stuff in it. Sounds like this. All right, so we're gonna start here with this. That's a kind of a quick little bend at the 15th fret, release it, and then bend it and bring it back up. So, all right, after you do that, so that's the 12th fret on the high E string. Then pull off 15 to 12 on the B. Over to 15 on the G string, making it this kind of out of the E blues scale. Back to the B string, 12th fret, and then pull off 15, 14 to 12 on the G. So we have this. Then we're gonna quick bend there at the 14th fret there, and resolve it to the 12th fret there on the G. So we have this. All together with that opening bend. All right, then we have this. All right, so that's going, you're gonna heavily palm mute 14, 12, 14 on the D string. And then go into the 12th fret on the G string. Now when you go to that 12th fret, especially the second time of hitting that note, he adds a little pinch harmonic to it. So when you're doing that, you're doing this quick little, just kind of like doing a quick little bend and release on that note, just a kind of a quarter step bend. And then he has this little, so this is a little descending pentatonic line. It's pretty easy, but it's heavily palm muted. So you're gonna play 14, 12 on the D string, 14, 12 on the A. Then shift back and play that 12 again. Play 12, 10, so this. So you're gonna actually hit that 12th fret twice, but it's with different fingers. So after you've gone to the 10th fret there on the A string, hit that again, and then 12, 10, 12 on the low E string. And then slide that down. And then we have this really, really cool kind of lick that goes between an open high E string and a fretted note. So the picking, you're gonna have to get this down. It's gonna be a little bit tricky at first, but it sounds like this. So now let's just go through the notes real. It's actually a pattern, four ascending patterns. And he's just going basically straight up the E major scale. So what we're going to be doing is 4 notes up then 3 notes up, then 4 notes up, then 3 notes up. So this will make more sense in a second. So before we talk about how it's picked, let's get the notes down. So that's 4, 5, 7, 9. So starting on the 4th fret. So that was just 4 notes up the scale. So wherever you stop there, which was the 9th fret, go back down 1 note in the scale. Now from there, we're going to go up 3 notes in the scale. 1, 2, 3, which is 7, 9, 11. So went 4 notes up. Now backtrack a note, and now go 3 notes up from there. All right, now backtrack a note again, and now go 4 notes up from there. So it's going to be, so we have 9, 11, 12, 10. And then backtrack a note and go 3 notes up. 12, 14, 16. So we have this. Oh, sorry, we'll do this again. Now, let's get the timing of the actual picking, because the picking is a little bit different as you go through it. The first group of 4, you're going to pick the note and have 2 open high E strings after it. And then you go to the 5th fret, 2 open high E. So it's the same notes we just learned, just with the open high E twice between. Now, when you get to the second group, which is the ascending group of 3, starting from the 7th fret, so 7, 9, 11, it's the same concept, except now you're only going to hit the open high E string once. So for the rest of them, you're only going to hit the high E string once. It's just the very first 4 notes, you'll hit the high string E string twice between it. So all together. All right, so it's the same notes we did, 2 open strings between each note in the very first group of 4, of the first 4 notes, and then just 1 open high E string. So you can just do strict alternate picking. All right, now when you get there, you're going to go back to hitting the notes, the open high E string twice between each note, and he just goes between 17 and 16 a couple times, with the open high E string twice between each time. So this. And then it sounds like on the recording, if you really slow it down, he hits the 19th one. He goes 17, 16, 17, 16, 17, and the 19 real quick, and then he just do a whole step bend at the 22nd fret with a kind of some, and you're kind of tremolo picking it as you're bending up. All together. All right, so that takes us into that last little riff, and then after that riff, it's kind of a free time section, and there's another solo that's done there, and it just goes like this. All right, so that starts just with the bend there. This is the very end of the song. Whole step bend there at the 15th fret, and then just gonna. So that's just a trill between 12 and 15 there on the B string. And then just take it down 1 fret at a time until you get about the 7th fret with your index finger. So we have this. And then you slide up the B string. Into that whole step bend there on the high E string. All right, at the 22nd fret. All right, so that was the short one. So there's a couple of really short little solos, and then there's a couple of more extended solos. But they're all a lot of fun to play, and they just fit the song perfectly. So it's a very fun song to play as soon as you get it underneath your fingers. So hopefully you'll take the time, break these solos down. Some good picking exercises in there too. All right, I'll see you guys again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.